my name is Brent, and today we're going to talk about Ryobi tools. Over the past couple of years, I've purchased a number of tools, and they've served me pretty well, and today I'd like to talk about that. This video is not going to be a technical video. I'm not going to talk about specifications, weight, capacities, dimensions. I'm just going to do a brief overview of the tools so you can get an idea of some of the things that I use them for, and maybe they'll help you. So first off, we have the Ryobi original Sawzall. I believe I bought this in 2009. It's a pretty decent tool. However, the batteries were not powerful enough for this to reach its actual potential. That was really hard for me to use, so I ended up just, not even using the guys. They sat in my storage cabinet for years, and in fact 2009 is, I think, the last time I used this, and I used it for the first time recently when I found out that the new lithium batteries actually still fit them. Here we go, we have a grinder. Same thing, it's the old blue, and I couldn't use it. It was terrible. It was terrible with the old batteries. I put the new battery on it, and it's good. It works well, and it's not a brushless motor, but it gets the job done. Again, a jigsaw. This guy is, again, I never used it, but it's good. This is a good tool now with the new battery. It does have a laser built into it, and it's accurate. It actually does the job now. One of the first tools that I bought from Milwaukee on their new line is the 1/2-inch impact wrench, and this is a great tool. It actually has, as you can see, 3 different speeds, 1, 2, and 3. The total foot-pounds is 300. The first setting on 1, I believe, is 100 foot-pounds. I believe 2 is 200, and 3 is 300. It does have 3 beams that comes off of it, and it works pretty well. Let me grab the battery. So you can actually see that's on the low speed. You can hear the difference. 2 and 3. A great tool. I've used this working around my cars, around the house. If you have really big lag bolts, this will get the job done, no problem. Moving on, we do have the tire inflator, or what they call a power inflator. It works great. I don't have to pull out my compressor anymore. No hose, nothing, especially in wintertime. This works wonderful, so can't say enough about it. It was only like 20 bucks too, so right on. Here's another power inflator. This does more like blow-up beds, and the trigger actually is a click. It's a click on and off, so on, it would be off. The top part, if you move the nozzle to the top, that deflates, and this inflates depending on the port that you're using on a bed. This is a cool little tool. It's the shop blower. It has 3 different speeds as well. It's a cool little tool. It's good to use around the shop. I use small spots. My kids use it, and again, cool tool. Yeah, man. So here we have a nice palm sander. I bought this for times when I didn't have power available and needed to do a light sanding. This does the job great. It was, I believe, 30 bucks or maybe 35. It does have a port here that you can hook a bag up to, or a vacuum, and it's a great little tool. The best bang for your buck. So this tool here, this is a rotary tool. This tool is pretty cool. It plunges into drywall, and you can actually carve out around outlets. You know, it's great for junction boxes. It's great for you know, cutting light wood and really mainly drywall, maybe some plastics. But actually, it's too fast for plastics. It'll melt the plastic. But it's a good tool, good bang for your buck. And if you're looking to get into one of these tools without, you know, spending a lot of money from the other retailers and major manufacturers, you know, this is the way to go. I think I paid maybe $35 for it. Alright, so we actually have a palm router, and this is a very cool, easy to use, easy to manage tool in the fact that you don't have cords. It is not a huge plunge router, so you can set this down and you can route. You can plunge, however you have to manually pick it up, and but for, you know, maybe $35, $40 that I paid for this, just for the tool, not the battery. I've used this. I actually made a plaque for a family member, and it was Noah's Ark, and I was able to route out the entire ark with Noah written through the middle with this, and it worked flawlessly. On the sides, you'll actually see that you can move it up and down. It does have measurements here, and you know, and then it has a speed. You know, it's where you can move it up and down pretty quickly if you need to. But you know, great tool, worth the money. Never thought that I would be buying one of these. I'm typically using pneumatic tools. However, the 18-volt Bradley nailer is pretty spectacular. It does have dual beams coming out of each side. It has the depth guide that you can set your nails to. And then if you want to shoot a single nail down at the bottom here, right here, you can shoot single nail or you can shoot multiple nails. It depends on your preference and really your skill set. And it's a pretty good tool. This did cost, just for the tool, right around $120, $130. I've used it rebuilding my front porch, back porch, putting up crown molding. It saved a ton of time, and it's worth it. This costs maybe a third of what the other manufacturers, such as Milwaukee, would charge. And this actually runs, and let me just make sure I get this here. It runs off of air, so this is considered air strike. It does not reverberate through your arm. It's a very fluid, nice tool to use. I recommend it. You wouldn't regret this purchase. So this is a pretty interesting tool. I usually use only Milwaukee typically for my professional tools or drills. However, Ryobi's changed a few things, and they've brought out this impact. Huge proponent of impact. I support it. This is actually called Quiet Strike. It uses pulses, and it uses fluids inside, so hydraulic fluid or another type of fluid. And the big change for this, it has the same power as a typical impact. However, it's quiet. So whenever you're screwing into something, as you can see probably the intro, it's actually pretty quiet, and it doesn't hurt your ears. It doesn't echo throughout a house. It's a great tool. I believe I spent $75 or $80 on this. I can say that it's a good tool, and I would recommend this tool so far. I'm still in testing phases, so let's just see how that works out. I'll report back later. So the next tool is probably my favorite. I'm always hot, I'm always burning up, and this will help keep me cool. I never typically have power or run extension cords out to where I'm working unless I have a chop saw. And if I'm not using a chop saw, I do have battery operated circular saws. So this is a complete comfort, great thing to have. It's a battery operated fan, and this is actually a hybrid tool. and let me show you why. So as we take the battery off, it covers up. You can actually plug an extension cord in. That's pretty neat, and I can appreciate that a lot, because sometimes, you know, you need to use your batteries for something else. So another cool thing about this, it can turn, and the reason why with this orientation is you have a hook and you can hang it on the wall. In fact, if we look, we actually have mounting holes here and here. You have another hook on this side. So your ability to use this, hang it up somewhere, is pretty awesome. I know that other manufacturers make this. However, this fan was $40, and it has 2 speeds. Let me see. So it's on the first speed right now, and as you can hear, it's pretty quiet. In fact, it's very quiet, and it gives a nice breeze. And even on the second level, it's not that loud. It's very comfortable, and it gives a very nice breeze as well, and it'll keep you cool on those hot days when just a little bit of air movement is all it takes to make the day comfortable. Moving on. This is what got me back into Ryobi, is the jet fan. I was very intrigued with this fan. I believe it is 300 plus CFM. The speed is, I believe, over 130 miles per hour. And really, it said it was a jet fan. I'm a sucker for, you know, jet-propelled engines and different types of, you know, technology such as that. And I hadn't seen it before. So I picked it up. It was amazing. I had a 4 amp hour battery with it. I can't say enough about it. This is a great tool. I use it every time I mow my lawn. When I made this purchase, I also started looking at the weed eaters. And this is a great weed eater. So with this, you actually have 2 speeds here. You have a high and you have a low. Obviously, low is something that you know, would protect the string and make it last longer. High is, it's going to cut well. I was skeptical because it does have a single twine off the end there, but it cuts great, and it actually has an edger. So you see the wheel, if you press, it'll actually turn, and that way you can run it along the ground and do all the edging that you need to do. So I've shown you most of the tools that I have. It's a lot of tools, and I don't use these for every job, but I do use a lot of the tools. And with a lot of tools, you're typically going to have a lot of batteries. For that, we do have here the Supercharger. Now that can hold 6 batteries. However, it does not charge 6 batteries at the same time. It charges 1 battery at the same time, and consecutively it will go down and charge each of the batteries. As you can see, maybe in the picture, one is blinking. That means that one is charged. The other red ones need to be charged, and I do have a solid green, which stands for a complete and solid charge. So if you want to set it and forget it, you know, that's great. Just leave it overnight and it'll charge all your batteries for you. And that's something that has been somewhat valuable to me. I really thought it was going to charge all 6 batteries at the same time. That didn't happen. And it's okay, because it does charge the batteries fairly quickly. And, you know, it hangs up on the wall, so it doesn't take up a lot of real estate. You know, I'm good with that. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe. As always, stay blessed.